This is a short video to explore how those features and operations within Excel that are used to clean data could be applied using Google Sheets. One of the first operations is to take data from the OCR process and to split the various text into columns. In Google Sheets, we would highlight the column, move to Data, and to the second last item which says Split Text to Columns. And we have our data separated into columns. Next, each element of data has to be placed in the proper column for the subsequent processes to work. For example, here we have two items in one cell which have to be split. I'm going to go up here to the top to basically cut part of it out with Control X, and come down here and use Control V to paste it into a new location. Similarly here, this entire cell needs to be moved to the right. We can use Control X to cut it and Control V to paste it in its new location. In this one, we need to Control X to cut and Control V to paste. We need to go to this cell and cut out part of it. Control X to cut out the part we want to move, Control V to paste it in the new location. How are we doing so far? Let's check and see. This column looks good, 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 and so on. All right. Let's start working from the right side. As we move down this column, each element should have an H or an F followed by a period in it. As we move down, we find that here in this cell, we have 1. The 1 is the result of the OCR process not picking up correctly on the letter F. This column now looks proper. This column looks good. This column is also good, except for here, where we need to modify this. The 1ET or LET is really the OCR trying to say first. And in this case, there's a missing period. In this cell, we need to add a period. One way to do that is this. We highlight the column so that only the operation applies here in just this column. Go to Edit, Find and Replace, match the case. We want to find where it says CON, and we want to replace it with CON period. We click Replace All, and done, and the column looks like this. We look at it and we say, oh my goodness, we have 2 periods. Yes, but we can again use, with the column highlighted, we can again use Edit, Find and Replace. This time we look for 2 periods and replace each instance of 2 periods with a single period. Replace all, and done. We look down now and we have actually added a period where it was missing and converted the double periods to single periods. In this column, we want to split off the H period and F period from the rest of the cell. To do that, we'll need to insert one column, and while we're at it, we may as well insert a second. Now, to peel off the H and the F's followed by their periods, we'll use a function. In order to pull off the H and the F and create separate versions of those in column G, we'll give this formula a try. Equals left, H1, 2 characters in. And we have done that. Let's select that column, Control C to copy, click here, right click, paste special, values only. And we've duplicated, it appears, this column. There is a difference though, a critical difference. This column is the actual value, the letter. This column is simply the formula to pull this off. This is the column we need here, and this column could be deleted. We now want to convert each of these letters, H and F, into a slightly revised format. Let's do that with find and replace. Let's look for H period, and we'll make sure we match the case here. H period, so we replaced all of the H's with household on. Now we're going to find and replace all of the F periods with freehold on, match the case, click replace all, and done. And now we have modified the F and the H to a longer expression. Now we would like to remove the H and the F from their original column. We can again use find and replace. Let's find the H periods, match the text or the case, but replace it with nothing. And we see that the H is gone. Let's do that again. Find and replace. This time, F period, match the case, replace it with nothing, replace all, and they're gone. At this point, we might want to trim the white spaces, the extra ones, out of this column. Select the column. Go down to Data Cleanup off the Data tab. Go to Trim White Spaces. And we've trimmed white spaces out of these cells here, one column at a time. We also want to remove the periods in this column. We'll select the column, and once again we'll call on Find and Replace. This time we'll find periods. We'll match case even though it doesn't apply. Make sure this is empty and replace all the periods with nothing, and done, and the periods are gone. We want to modify each of these cells until it says something more. Because this is the post office address, we want to modify this to say something along the lines of Consicon Post Office, Murray Post Office, Rossmore Post Office, and so on. To do that, we're going to use a function or a formula. We're going to need an extra column here, so let's insert one to the left. Let's move these around a little bit to give ourselves a little bit more room here. Well, there we go. All right, let's use a concatenate expression. We're going to join what's in column H, as in H1, with another expression. We need a space in here, so we'll separate the space like that. And this, because this is text, we'll have to put quotes around this also. Now, because there was nothing in this column, we got just post office here. Anyway, but as we can see, that is working. Now, post office could well become the title for the column, except that this is really only produced by the function. It's not the actual text itself. So let's copy that, come over here, and we'll use the same column we had. Right click, paste special, values only. Now, although this column now and this column look very similar, this is the column we want to keep, column H. This one can go. And we can make this a little smaller. Let's put it here. We're going to insert a column. Next, we want to join information from these three columns together in a single expression. We'll use the concatenate function. First, we want F1. Then we want a space. Then we want D1. A space, a hyphen, a space, and E1. And there we have joined those columns together. Let's check the spacing and see if it looks all right. Well, actually, it doesn't look bad at all. Our concatenate function produced what we want here, but we have to remember that this is not really the values we want. This is simply the calculation, the formula, the function. We have to copy this and position it somewhere else. Let's position it here. We'll hit this, paste right, that's a right click, paste special, values only. Now, although these two look a lot alike, these represent the values, where these represent the formulas can go. Now, there is one more change I'd like to make here, and that is this, CON. In case somebody doesn't understand what it means, I think we should write the full word concession. We'll select, go to Edit, Find and Replace, find CON period, make sure we match the case, and replace that with the full word concession. Replace all, and done. Now, did we get what we wanted? Let's see. Household on fourth concession, full word, part of lot 107. I think we did. I would take out this up here. We don't need that. And this one right here is a special case. We don't need that as well. Other than that, I think we're good. Now, we've included the freehold or household information, the lot, and the concession number. So these columns can also be deleted. Guess it only does one at a time. There we go. Delete the column and delete the column. So what we have right now, and I'll insert a row here. What we have right now is surname, given name, occupation, residence, post office, and we can delete that. We still need to have the municipality. So to get that, we can go here and right click and insert one column to the left. This will be municipality. This municipality will be Ameliusburg Township. Without the all caps. And we need one more column here, which is the page. The page we already know because it's 465. Let's make all of those go on the right. Excuse me, the left. The other right. And that should be it. Surname, given name, occupation, residence, municipality, post office, page. Now, this is just the formatting, the structure of it. We still haven't checked to see what we have to change over here. Looking quickly, and what I know about surnames in Ameliusburg Township, those might be correct. I don't see a lot of problems here either, although we would need to go through and compare this with the PDF version in order to make sure that we're correct. The one more thing we should do here is to capitalize all of this column. In order to change the surnames in the first column to uppercase, we'll use a formula. Let's add a column. The program suggested the autofill, which is good. We'll select that column, copy it, move over to here, paste special, values only, and now we have the values and the formulas. The formula column can go, right click, delete column, and there's an extra column we don't need. I believe that's it. We'll now download the Google Sheet in a Microsoft Excel compatible format. And it should be waiting for us in the download folder.